So, this is Jenee Priebe. Priebe?
Yep.
Can you say it? Jenee
Priebe.
Priebe?
Yeah, Jenee Priebe.
And she is the Associate Director of Shine Mural Festival?
You know, I'm actually just director now.
Just director?
Yes.
Sorry, on the website it says Associate Director.
It's brand new.
So you are the top dog, the ultimate, the everything, the director? Director. Nice. I'm going to do a bad job at eating a sandwich.
I know, me too. Let's do it together. Do a
Sandwich.
Bodega.
This is from Bodega. They're on Central Avenue that way. They're really good. So how did you become the top dog director of Shine Mural Festival?
You want like the full story all the way back?
How did you just become involved with Shine Mural Festival, like, at all? How about that?
Okay, so in 2015, that's when the first Shine Festival happened. Like a month before that, I was home. I was like full-time stay-at-home mom with my son, Jonah. He was like 8 months old. And it's very lonely to be like a stay-at-home mom sometimes. And so I would just like lose my mind being in the house all day. So I would just put him in the stroller and we would just like go places. We'd go to the parks and go downtown and we would just like walk around. Anyways, that's when I started really getting into the murals, and I'm like, there's so many, even back then, like even before Shine. And so I started taking pictures with him in the murals just like for fun, because I have a photography background, and I just thought it was cool because he was so little and the art was so big. And so, yeah, so I started doing Jonah on the mural. And then I realized like through Instagram too that there's this whole like international community of mural artists. And I just started getting really into it, like kind of into like the culture of it and the whole scene. And then, yeah, so then the next month was the very first Shine Festival. And it just like blew my mind that like that was going to happen here in our city, that level of art and these level of artists. And the whole thing was just like incredible to me. So I was determined to get involved in some way. So then the next year I started volunteering. I connected with Chad Mize and then connected with Catherine Howd, and just started volunteering with the festival like as much as I could. And then I loved it so much, and I would like clear my schedule. Is this too long of an answer?
No, this is beautiful.
So I would clear my schedule the week of Shine every year, and I have all my kids were taken care of. Everything was like done, so I would just have nothing to do but Shine stuff the whole week. And then eating sandwiches in an alley.
Eating sandwiches in the alley. This is what you do. You eat sandwiches in the alley like a hobo.
Yeah, I love it.
And talk to your friends about art stuff.
Right? So anyways, then yeah, so I would like connect with Catherine Howd, who like turned out to be one of my neighbors, and Catherine's been on the Shine committee since the beginning, and she does like all the lunches and like a big piece of the hospitality portion of what Shine does. Anyway, so I would just ride around with her like the whole week, and I was like, Catherine, whatever you need, let me help you. And so yeah, I kind of started to learn like the inner workings of the festival to some degree. And then after that third year in 2017, a lot of the original organizers rolled off the committee and wanted to take a break, or kind of burnt out and just needed some time off. And so then they were looking to like hire someone to keep the festival going, and that's how I got hired.
Boom. What is your favorite mural in St. Pete? There's like 500 if you're not from here and don't know. 573? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. What are you?
Yeah.
What is your favorite mural that's not your own?
I really like this one that's behind there, behind the Morian glass blowing place.
Yeah. That's an old one.
And I was there ever since I can remember.
It still looks amazing for being that old.
Yeah, because I think that mural has to be in constant shade or something, because it still looks beautiful. And that one I really like. What else? I like that new Rose Martin.
Yeah.
Sick Pandas.
Yeah.
At Babe Ruth Brewing.
Yep.
I think that's kind of probably the coolest one, like now in St. Pete, probably.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Did you expect that one to be so cool?
Yes, I did.
Or maybe that's his best one that he's done so far.
I think it's definitely like one of the most amounts of pandas that anyone's ever gotten, which I feel pretty excited about.
How many are there? There's like 7,
There's
right?
8 pandas.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was they look amazing. It was super exciting to have him here. He was just amazing. He was super chill.
So how do you pick the artists? It's probably not just you, right?
Right, so Shine has a curation team. That's me, Chad Mize, and Michelle Tanu. And we look at artists. I mean, we're always kind of looking at artists, but it's a lot about expanding like just the diversity of our overall art collection in St. Pete, trying to bring in new styles that we haven't done yet in any previous year. Looking at just diversity of artists in general, making sure that like different ethnicities and backgrounds are represented in that art. It's also kind of nice to be able to bring in different like places, like trying to bring in people from countries that we haven't worked with before. I think this was our first time having a Colombian artist this year. We've had a lot of artists from Germany, just because there are so many of them. But yeah, anytime we can bring in kind of a new representation in any way, you know, just looking for artists that have an established voice and message with their artwork. And then for the locals too, it can be a little bit different just because we've been doing this for so long, and we have seen that like over the years there are more and more people in St. Pete doing murals. But then, you know, there's people like Jared who, you know, their artwork is far enough advanced and like they have enough of a message and a voice and a style that like with enough support they can create a mural from that. Same with Samo and Mike. It was really cool being able to work with him. So yeah, there's a lot of different kind of factors that go into it, but just sort of overall curating like you would a gallery space, you know. I think making sure we have a diversity of styles is really the biggest thing.
Cool. So who's someone that you want to be in it but you haven't got yet? That would be like total dream for you. If I only can get this artist to be in Shine, who would that be?
Oh man, I mean obviously like Tristan Eaton would be amazing. I know like Shepherd Ferry has done other festivals, you know, that kind of stuff would be amazing. You know what, I really, even though they're not a mural artist, I've been like dying to get Martha Cooper here for like years. I've tried getting Martha Cooper to come out just to like photograph for us, you know, with us. She has a movie, there's a documentary that came out about her a couple years ago that I've been trying to get that screened. I guess just that's my photography background, but I think Martha Cooper is the jam.
Cool.
Yeah.
Martha Cooper, I'm going to have to Google that later.
Oh yeah, definitely Google that. She's the one that made like Subway Art, the book, like back in the day when like it was like really the first book about graffiti art that sort of like started to disseminate the culture of New York City graffiti back in like the 70s.
So, what advice would you give for somebody, because I come across this all the time, every artist, they want to get into murals and they want to be a muralist, and they ask me and I'm just like, I don't know, but what advice would you give them?
My advice if you want to get into murals is paint murals, number one. Because I see a lot of people reach out with their portfolios and they say, I want to be in Shine, here's my portfolio, but they've never done a mural before. Which again, sometimes it's not, doesn't mean you can't be a part of Shine. But if we don't know you, especially have no relationship to anyone in the community that might be able to say like, yeah, I've seen their work in person, I can vouch for this person, they can handle it. You know, it's definitely going to give us a better sense of what you're capable of if you paint a mural already. So that, to me, that's the biggest thing. Is like just get experience, go out and paint and paint and paint and paint and paint. And I think like if you are interested in being in Shine or just being a muralist in general, go talk to the artists when they're here. You know, when Shine is happening, go talk to people. Like learn some tips, see if you can learn anything, see if you can, you know, make a friend, build a connection. I think that's all that stuff helps.
Yeah, most of those artists are super, super nice too, so you can just go talk to them.
Yeah. I think really like St. Pete's art community can be such an encouraging place though. Like it can be so positive, and like people really are eager to help each other and support each other and like work together. I think people are really eager to collaborate on things all the time, you know, and it doesn't mean it always works or it always makes sense or it ends great or whatever, but I just feel like there is that spirit here of like positivity in our community. Do you think that's true?
I think it is true.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think like I get a lot of calls and emails from other cities that are like, how do we do a mural festival? And it's kind of a hard thing to answer because I'm kind of like, how deep do you want to go? You know, like, do you have an established collection of local artists that are talented and like eager to help? You know, like that's huge. That really is huge in the success of Shine. Like you need, or any of these festivals, I believe. I mean, because you can't always just like bring that in from outside. And I think knowing the city, like having people who know the city, know the neighborhoods, like understand just the nuances of your city is really important when you're putting art in public places. Like it's easy to get it wrong in a lot of ways, I think, if you don't know what you're doing. But having like a group of local artists who've been out in the streets, who've been doing the work, I think makes a big difference.
I think that's the first time I ever thought about that. It's like if you didn't have that, how could you have a mural festival?
Yeah, I don't know how other people do that,
That thought
honestly.
never came to my mind, but it makes perfect sense now.
Yeah. And I think that, like, to your point, too, like, those of you guys that were here out in the streets before Shine or whatever, like, laid the foundation for people to be like, oh, art on a wall? Like,
Right.
Okay, I can get down with that, you know? Like, maybe they didn't really understand it or they didn't know what it could be or whatever, but, like, to have just that little bit of connection kind of starting for people like, oh, I can see that. That's cool. You know, and then it builds from there.
So are you going to do Shine next year?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you going to do the year after that?
Hopefully.
What about the year after that?
We'll see. Hopefully. I think I'd love to see Shine get to year 10. You know?
Year 10?
It just feels like a good
Is that
mark.
the ultimate goal?
No, I don't know that there's an ultimate goal, but I would like to see that. I don't know what happens beyond that, but I'd like to see that for sure.
You do that.
To your point earlier, it's like we want people to produce like the best art that they can produce, you know, for us, for St. Pete. And to me, it's like I can't imagine asking somebody to come here and produce the best art that they've ever produced, and I'm not going to give them paint, I'm not going to prep their wall for them, I'm not going to like provide their airfare, I'm not going to like feed them while they're out there. Like I can't imagine asking someone to do that. Like I feel like that's a big part of what Shine is about, and like our goal of ultimately like getting great art from great artists. Like you have to take care of them to get that, you know, take away all the other stresses and make sure they can just paint and focus on that.
So what was your fondest memory like throughout all the years of the Shine Mural Festival?
So I have a lot of fond memories from Shine, but I think my first year with Shine was 2018. We had Nomad Clan here from England, and I had such a good time with them, and I was like determined to learn how to drive a lift because I didn't know how to drive a lift, and I just felt like I really wanted to know that. So I asked them at the very end when they were finished if they would teach me how to drive it, and they did. But it was like similar to when I first learned how to drive a car, and I just like laughed my ass off. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I laughed. So we were all just laughing so hard I could like barely operate the machine, but I did it. They taught me how to do it. It was very like jerky, and like there was nothing graceful about it whatsoever, but I managed to like drive the lift all the way to their wall and like put them on the roof, and then I drove it back and got some final photos, and then drove back and picked them up. It was a little touch and go, but it was really, really funny, and I don't know, it was a fun moment for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what is next for you and your journey in
Oh man.
the world?
I don't know. I'm just more Shine, and I don't really know what's going to happen after that. I'm hoping to do some more writing. I need to do more writing. Maybe I'll do more photography. I don't know. But I definitely feel the need to do more creative things, and yeah, I don't know.
Okay, serious time. What am I supposed to say? Thank you for coming and eating a sandwich in a strange alley.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
So thank you for coming and eating the sandwich in the alley and talking art stuff.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Now it's over.
Okay. Shout out to Yala Ford for this beautiful mural here in the alley of the 600 block. Good job, y'all.